Hey Jack, welcome back to this little XRP, just an update on XRP after this drop. I've been getting a lot of messages from people about how the whole market's been dropping for the last couple of days. I just wanted to give my thoughts on XRP specifically, and I'll be trying to put out another video tonight or potentially out tomorrow just about the dip in general and why and what I think about it. And really the title of that video will be, should I buy this dip? But we'll get there. I am currently working on a course and this course will be basically how to read charts for the ultimate beginner, someone who's never done it before, someone who gets completely confused by charts. Basically, some of the words I'm going to be using in these chart videos, these market updates, might need some context. You might need to know what a Fibonacci tool is. Some of those things. I'm working on that. Obviously, it takes time to put together a course. It will be free to view. You'll be able to watch it for free. You might have to sign up for a platform or something to just be part of it. It will be free. And we'll see how that goes. And if you like that, then obviously we'll go further into it. But doing that will obviously give you a bigger insight into these charts that I go through in these videos. Sorry. So let's get into XRP. I want to show something interesting here, and that is the use of trend lines. And basically we're going to be using those in this section here. So I'll zoom in further because I know that was some advice from my previous one. So we had this massive dip in December, but the one I remember personally, because I was just starting to understand crypto around this area here. So I remember the big meteoric rise there of all the coins and all the money, and it was great. And then I also remember this massive drop, which we see from the peak to the bottom. I remember that 73% drop, and that was wild. Well, that's 73% in XRP. So XRP got hit big time. For Bitcoin, those are drops at the end of the bull cycle. But for Bitcoin, all right, let's get this like this so I can actually see. For Bitcoin, we went from all the way up there down to here, and that was a 54% correction. So we're going to focus after this dip. So once we had reached our bottom, what happened after? So let's look at XRP. And we're going to draw trend lines here. You can find that on the left. We'll get into this all in the course, as you know. These trend lines, we can place that over there. So there's a touch here, and we know it touched here because it bounced straight off this line here. And so we can marry up those two lines. We get another one, and we can use the bottom of that, and we can, again, draw another line. This is a support line, where it almost touches 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're kind of on that fourth time now. What's interesting, I found, is that there's always a correction before a big, big pump. There's always a correction. I want to show something. Even here, back in the 21st of March, look at this correction. I want to zoom in here further. Look at this. Right before this massive pump, there was a massive correction in the middle and a massive correction just before. So massive corrections always precede a big movement. So let's just see how much this one was worth, how much this one went down. So this was a 16% decrease right there. And halfway up the pump, there was another one, and that was a 19% crushing moment for XRP. So let's look at that with that perspective. We've got on our hands, as it stands right now, we've had up to a 20% correction in the market. But that's fine. But let's go back to the 2017 bull market. So this is when XRP went wild, as you can see here. It went on a monster tear, going from the bottom here all the way up to the top was 1,627% increase. Absolutely mental. But what did it do before? corrected. That's right. So there's a massive correction here, and it did 20%. Look at that. That's a familiar number for right now. And then just immediately before, it did a 15% correction. So the point is, these corrections always happen before a massive pump. And the one thing I want to seal this into you, kind of give you a timeline as to when things could potentially start moving upwards for us. Let's look at how long it took from the peak, from the most recent peak, how long it took for XRP to consolidate. Consolidation is this whole area here where it's just kind of working within a channel. It's not moving outside of kind of this. It's kind of working in between that area. How long does it take? Well, let's measure it, because we can with these charts. So let's go from the peak of that part all the way over to the day of the pump, which was 207 bars, or 207 days, because we are in fact on the daily chart. So 207 days people waited for the price to move, and it didn't that whole time. 207. And then all it took basically was from this day to that day. It took 23 days to go up that 1600%. So where are we at now? How long have we consolidated in between a channel? So there's two channels we can look at. The first one, I need to make this auto. The first channel we can look at is this one. This is on a larger scale. Obviously this is before the crash. Yes, we've been working towards within that range, but I actually want to look after the pump. So after the pump, so we're here where these trend lines start. Because I think that's just most similar to what we've been looking at in the last market, right before the like final parabolic move. That's what we're measuring here. So let's see. As it stands right now, we have been 72 days in this consolidation period. Now, arguably, yes, you could really say that this was the start of the consolidation. Perhaps this, because this all falls within that range. So let's say that. Let's say that is the range. That goes from the 12th of August to November the 19th, where we are currently. And that takes us all the way to 100 days. We've only been here for 100 days. And that's significant because this was 207 days. So if history repeats itself, and that is like for like, we're going to be in this phase for a lot longer than we were hoping. If that's true, that means we're in an extended bull market, which history hasn't shown an extended bull market yet. So who knows, really, is the essence of this video. I just know that history starts to repeat itself. I know that when coins are in this consolidation phase, they're winding up to go. And what always happens, this is something that you'll see across all charting, is that when we get into this consolidation phase, we can start to draw support lines, as you can see here. Multiple bounces off this line. When you draw the resistance lines, actually you could probably draw one from there, right above there. You can see that it works within channels, right? So you can see it bounces here, comes up, tests that upper limit. Obviously there was more difficulty getting through this layer previously, so we knew that was going to be a resistance. And it just keeps bouncing in between that range. What we find is, with charts, if you're a beginner, this section here is always the section where the price breaks out of this triangle. So either can go down or it can go up. Yeah, so it always breaks out of this kind of area. And when you go back to where we are today with our trend lines, I have to draw them back in here. And when we go back to our chart here, you start to notice that we are in fact creating some sort of resistance lines here. And then also from the bottom here, you can start to see on the larger scale, we're forming some sort of triangle there. And also here, look at that. Look at this triangle right here. Let's take this one out so you can see it. This triangle here is arguably the most influential predictor of the price. And from this, we can kind of look at a breakout moment. What would the price be if it broke out? So let's take the bottom of here all the way to the top. This is how you measure the price targets for this type of pattern. You put it at the breakout point, which will be in this range because, as I said before, this range is always where it breaks out. So we're there. It's either going to break down, my guess is down to $1, or it's going to break up. And if it does break up, then we're looking at that explosion up to $2. And that's very real for XRP. And this is a longer video than I anticipated it to be. Just a quick note, the RSI is at the bottom on the daily chart. That means there is only upwards movement from here, really. On the 4-hour chart, we're on our way down. So in the short term, ultra short term, I would expect a continued dip, like I said, down to $1. If you had extra cash and you wanted to put a buy order at $1, it might get triggered, it might not. On the weekly chart, we can see that the RSI is right in the middle, heading down. We've seen it be in the middle before, and it can go up. Like in this case here in January, it can be in the middle and just explode up, and you can see the correlated movement here, what happened when that happened. And it can also go straight down. So it's difficult. I tend to think we are probably going to start pumping with XRP in December. I mean, I don't see it happening in November anymore, but who knows? This is my first cycle. I haven't been through a bear market. What do I really know? I just read the charts and try to view them as objectively as possible and kind of give the overall outlook on the market that way. I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you want to get more of these market updates, and please subscribe if you want to see, or comment, like and comment and subscribe and all of that if you want to see a basic chart reading course come out shortly. Bye, Jack.